Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Jaquan,
I'm Jasmine.
and welcome to the Film
Film
Spill.
Spill. So, today, guys, we're going to be reviewing How to Get Away with Murder. This is a drama series, and here is the summary. Annalise Keating is a brilliant, charismatic, and seductive professor of defense law who teaches a class called How to Get Away with Murder. She is also a criminal defense attorney who selects a group of students to assist with cases at her firm alongside her employees, Frank Delfino and Bonnie Winterbottom. Mysteries arise that test everyone's limits and reveal dark truths.
Yeah, so let's get into my rating for this show. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Let's get into my pros and my cons. So, very first pros, it's just a great show with amazing writing. This show had so many twists and turns, and it reminded me a lot of Scandal. So, if you watch Scandal, you kind of gonna be connected to this show. And they also did a cameo with Scandal was actually a part of this show. So Scandal with Olivia Pope and Annalise Keating with How to Get Away with Murder. People always kind of compare the two. Like, who would you want to have as a lawyer? And honestly, it's like either or. I feel like you're going to be winning. So finding out the true murders behind the killings was such a twist each time. So every season, for the most part, they're basically trying to find or discover a murder, and the twist behind each of those murders were always really, really crazy. It was always people that you didn't suspect. Finding out Annalise knew Wes, aka Kristoff's mom. Finding out Wes was working with the authorities to take down Annalise. Frank and Bonnie were not playing around. So once again, like I said, she just had some people on her team that were hitters. They basically made sure, if a job needed to get done, they didn't have a problem with getting their hands dirty. Annalise still came out on top at the end. She went through so much and still got away with so much as well. Like I stated, she covered up a lot of stuff. Her and her team, they covered up a lot of stuff. They did a lot of illegal stuff. It was a lot of stuff that the average person probably would have went to jail for. But for the most part, she was able to come out on top. And I think we really wanted that for her. We didn't want her to kind of have a crazy, crazy fate, i.e., Franklin Saint with Snowfall. Like, it's like you go through all that stuff. Yeah, we want to see you come out on top. So it was cool to see that. Sam getting murked was crazy. Nate killing Miller was wild. Laurel getting her dad killed. Laurel and Connor protecting Annalise at the end. Cons. Annalise was heartless. She definitely was very heartless at times. She did what she needed to do to take people down and protect her loved ones and protect her students. But a lot of the stuff she was doing, sometimes it sabotaged her students or put her students in a position where they had to lie or help her cover up things. They wasn't great, but she definitely was very heartless at times. Wes dying was sad. Nate Sr. dying was sad. When Bonnie and Frank both died, that was really, really sad. Only because it's like, once again, like I said, these were people who was her hitters. They made sure things got done. So when Frank died, it was like crazy. But when Bonnie died, it was like, damn, like Bonnie was just like this little sweetheart or whatever. But they both did whatever they needed to do for Annalise. So Annalise setting up Nate was definitely messed up. Like I said, she was definitely willing to do whatever she needed to do to protect her loved ones, even if it meant sabotaging people who had her back. Connor choosing to go to jail but not Michaela or Laurel. Like, I understand he was taking the moral high ground, but once again, like I stated, Annalise caused a lot of things. Yes, the students were definitely not, they were not innocent. They did a lot of stuff too. But I'm like, dang, Connor basically was the only one who took the bait, and I feel like the other one should have probably went to jail as well. Okay, this is probably one of the worst parts of the film that we talked about. So when Wes died, he ended up having a baby with Laurel. So they ended up doing like a time jump or like a flash forward, and we got a chance to see Laurel and Wes's baby growing up. Why was it the same damn actor who played? It was the same actor who played Wes to play the son. I'm like, bro, when we saw that, we was like, wait, y'all couldn't just cast somebody else and say that was Wes' son. We would have believed it. You literally got Wes to play his son in him. Like, what? That was just dumb. I didn't like that part. And I feel like Michaela was definitely selfish at times. Like, I rock with Michaela, but she was, she was very ambitious and she was willing to be a snake and she was really out for herself. So it was a lot of time frames where I didn't really care too much about her. But other than that, it was definitely a great show. I recommend it. Give it a 4.
Okay, guys, I give this show a 5 star. This was a really, really good show. Shout out to Viola Davis. Initially, I didn't think a show about young adults in law school would be that interesting to me, but this show was really, really good. There were a lot of twists and turns, which I like because I love when a show is not easily predictable. So with Annalise, of course, I love seeing a powerful, smart Black woman. She seemed to have this perfect life. She was a respected defense attorney and a criminal law college professor. I loved how they showed her so put together with her outfits and her wigs. Cue the meme of her grabbing her purse and getting up,
Right.
and seemingly invincible. But then you seen the other side with her marriage and her home life, which was so messy and complex and toxic and traumatic. She definitely had a lot of internal struggles, but I like how she developed into more of a motherly figure to her students, and she was willing to do anything to protect them. I did want to say though, as much as I love a natural woman, why did they have her looking like that when she took off her makeup and her wigs? Like they just had her looking crazy.
Thanks.
But a few of the things I didn't see coming: Rebecca getting killed by Bonnie, Wes getting Laurel pregnant, Wes getting killed, Frank causing the car accident that killed Annalise's unborn baby, Frank being Sam's son and a product of incest, Annalise being bisexual, Asher being the mole and the FBI informant, and like he said, Bonnie getting killed. That was so unexpected and sad. But side note, why did Viola shake her so hard like that when she was holding her? She was shaking the mess out of that woman. I don't know how the actor kept a straight face during that scene. But
Thanks.
anyway, last thing I wanted to mention, I liked Oliver and Connor's love story. They had a lot going on, especially Connor, but they were so cute together, and I was so happy when they got married. I liked how Connor's character developed from like cold and selfish to having a moral compass and wanting to help and protect others. Overall, this was a really good show, and I give it a 5 star, and I recommend you go watch it right now.
Yeah, just like always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. You guys have a good one.